Hey everybody, welcome to this episode of Finance This, Property That. We're in the new business, Stratega Finance, and we are up and running and going gangbusters. Today's episode, I want to talk about valuations, especially around valuations around rooming houses, where one of our clients signed a contract and based on the rental income, the actual value was probably going to be $130,000 short, and how we actually got that to stack through our contacts and our understanding of rooming houses. So let's get into it. So you probably heard me talk about these clients actually. Their mum and dad, kids, where we restructured their debt. We've turned their property portfolio from circa 1.5 million to close to now, I would say 4 million. Actually, with the most recent purchase that we did. But in order to get to where they are, step one, we restructured their existing debt, reduced their actual non-tax deductible payments on their owner-occupied property, and recycled that debt out to create the war chest. Then step two was to purchase a rooming house. And then step three was to purchase a property in their personal name to do a dual occupancy project where they'd stick another property out the back. And we got that in on the day of got that contract signed before the budget was announced. So they got their negative gearing grandfathered, which was awesome. But step two, which was the rooming house, they found a property, or we were in conjunction, found a property. Asking price was 1.435 million. However, when we ran the numbers based on what the properties were, some of the rooms were renting for versus what they should have been, if we use those rates or if we just took it on face value, it would have come in about $130,000 short, which doesn't help anyone. Well, it would have helped them, but it would not have helped the developer. So why is this, and also then it puts the deal at risk, right? So, but why is this different? Like how do we win this back when the valuation didn't stack? Well, rooming houses are valued differently. They're not valued like a normal house. Comparable sales don't apply or aren't as weighted as heavily as they are on a standard residential product. The commercial valuers values the income, i.e. the rental income divided by what the cap rate is. So you're probably asking, where did the $130,000 come from? Well, when there are 5 rooms potentially let for less, each let for $30 a week under market value, when you look at it 5 times 30 times 52 is $7,800 a year, divided by that potential cap rate at the time there, you're looking at about $130,000, which is basically exactly where that fell. So how do we fix it? Well, that's a really good question. So this is where being an expert in what we do around rooming houses comes into play. It's very, very different if you're going to a generic broker that doesn't understand rooming houses, how they work. They would have just picked it up and just gone, your valuation doesn't stack. So the way we did it is we still do our own research, regardless of whether there's current rental on the property or not. We actually got, I actually used Rachel. I think we've talked about it in our podcast from Upside Ave. We put her stuff in, like we got her to also do an appraisal on the property to see, hey, does this actually stack? And, it didn't. Like, the people that were doing it may just want to get the rooms rented, but getting the rooms rented at $30 a week, $20 to $30 a week less than what it should have been, actually costs the developer money as well. So it's not the greatest of outcome for everyone. So we got the independent appraisal done. When we do the valuation, we kind of get a say in who the valuer is as well. So this valuer I'd never used before, but I'd actually known about them and how they do their work, but I just gave them a quick call before appointing them or before taking it to our clients and saying, hey, we're probably recommending these ones because my normal valuer that we use couldn't value this property due to conflict of interest as he did the they did the valuation for the developer. So didn't want a conflict. So again, making sure that you have more than one way to get the outcome. If you're not in this game, you don't do this all the time, you won't know. But yeah, just pick up the phone, have a conversation with the valuer. I just said, look, based on this, it's not going to stack, but I actually have a rental appraisals and evidence saying that it's actually less. It's actually rented for less. These are actual rents that need to be achieved, real rents achieved on comparable rooms in the same area. So she took everything on board, looked at everything on its merits, actually rung me and said, hey, look, you know what? This is really good research. The result was she actually was able to value it at contract price, which was a great outcome because we knew that the real value was sitting in there, not sitting in there. But unfortunately, we couldn't change the rents for another year. But the clients, completed on the numbers that they signed up for, right? Like it's not, we knew the shortfall. We knew how to get it overturned. And funnily enough, Rachel is now the property manager for that property because she knows the value inside of it. So this is the part where I want you guys to save in your mind, right? Like the big takeaway from here is evaluation is an opinion built on income for a rooming house, right? As long as you've got the evidence, it can potentially change the opinion of it in certain circumstances and in certain areas. If you're picking a property manager, make sure they're setting the rents on what's real, not speed, not to just get the rooms filled. And when you're picking a broker to do your rooming house deal, make sure that they actually understand what a rooming house is and how it's valued, because it's very, very easy to tell whether it's under or overvalued because it's the numbers. It's done on numbers. It's not done on the comparable sale next door potentially as well. So again, take an expert. Make sure you understand exactly what you're getting into. Starts with a finance strategy. Come and see us if you don't have one. We'll give you that roadmap and help you understand where everything is. As always, the information on this podcast is very general in nature, doesn't take into consideration your personal circumstances. If you want to get in touch with me, very, very easy to find. New social handles at Stratega.finance is the business, Stratega.finance. And you can find me on LinkedIn. Also, we've got our website is up and running. It's awesome. All our podcasts are on the website. We've got blogs. We've got a little bit about us. And also coming soon, we're going to put the team page up. That's really easy. www.strategafinance.com.au. But until then, until the next episode, thanks for listening, and I'll see you guys on the next one.